Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Memo akwa ba de ba PENDREAM TV so me sure say na you dey kan a ohwe na be subscribe to channel no click bell no so say the news to us on sabetimi aka no atie ni ntem. Dr. Randy Abe na ewo ni show ni so why expose Bawumia ni NPP atwa omugu so zansi omu twa pa ni say Oma creating human bebre BC 3.2 million, BC 2.1. Afekra de obi kwa kan 21 million. Mihu Ghana mpo they like 33 million ti. Otimu sen. Omo figures no be a Canada free omo camp. They no na ene how the show ni so Bawumia spokesperson or communication member my NPP. Gideon Bwakoba show ni so omo discuss sa in same way na. Dr. Randy Abe compare Senate nipa ya register mo since Bawumia be transfer every year because Bawumia dey who employ nipa so uti omo Senate any auditor general's report by na omo say na figures ya NPP for kikan no kure bia ni men kasa bebre me pese e be ko ni akohwe show video no kwan Dr. Randy efa so expose Bawumia ni NPP Bawumia trom we think
that we put up a superior performance relative to the performance of past governments and narrowly the NDC that is the main contender with us in this particular election. And we move ahead to present what we think is the bold solutions for the future to the Ghanaian people. We've said a number of things, and we believe that if Ghanaians judge us based on what we've been able to do and give us the opportunity to continue, we will be able to deliver more to the Ghanaian people. Then the question comes to, what do you think you've been able to do that you think that the Ghanaian people should give you the chance to continue? We think that, yes, we've not been able to create jobs for every single Ghanaian youth or Ghanaian in this country. The unemployment situation is still high, but the fact still remains that the NPP government, led by President Adongo, has been able to deliver at least 2.3 million jobs to the young people of this country. This is a fact. This is something that is verifiable. We've put that data out, and if anybody has a contrary data, we want to subject ourselves to such interrogation. But we think that there is still more to be done, because yes, according to the World Development Index data, we've been able to reduce the rate of unemployment from 3% in 2017 to 2019 to 5% in 2016, and even youth unemployment 6% down from 10%. But there's still more, a lot of young people who do not have jobs, and we need to create more for them. And the 2.3 million jobs that we have created, that is not enough to cover all the unemployed youth in this country. It's the highest any government has created since 1992. So in terms of superior performance, we think that we are credible, and we have provided that.
Doc, so we'll hold on here, and then I'll bring in Honorable Adongo to deal with the issue of your performance. And then after that, we'll now look at what you're promising.
Excellent.
But help me with something on the job issue.
Yes.
I need a clarification on it, then we'll move on.
Yes.
Now, you stated, and it was at your program, that you've created 2.3 million jobs.
Yes.
1.4 million of these jobs in the public sector.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Comptroller and Accountant General recently appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, and he spoke about 760,000 persons on the government payroll. So I would need some clarification on this. And then I stand to be corrected, but my check suggests that Senate has an active membership of 1.2 million.
Yes.
Senate has an active membership of 1.2 million. So how come that government has created 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector, plus another 900,000 in the private sector, yet Senate has 1.2 million active members? I need you to help me out with this.
Well, I'm not the best person to explain Senate data. and what exactly it means to have 1.2 million active. And
it means that those are people who pay.
And here they are using the word active.
Yes.
It means they have more, but they think that these are the ones that payment is regular.
Yes.
For them.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that the 1.2 million is the final figure that they have in their database.
No, not the total number of registered people on the SNIT scheme.
Exactly. They say active.
But active. So
exactly.
those who
exactly.
pay.
And we know that mostly in the private formal sector, I mean, there may be people who are employed. Maybe SNIT payment was done one or twice, and the companies are not paying further. You know, these things happen. And so because SNIT has said active, I think it would be better for all of us to understand it very well if we get to know the total number of registered, you know, people in the SNIT database.
But why I find it curious, Doc, why I find it curious is that if we know the number of public sector workers, I mean, proud to government coming into office.
Exactly.
So if government says that we have added 1.4 million public sector jobs, public sector workers registered on SNIT are considered as active.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. So if we already had a certain number on the public sector payroll, and government, and that number should be in excess of 600,000.
Exactly.
Now, if government has added 1.4 million people onto the public sector payroll, then at least if SNIT's active membership is only about public sector workers, we should be speaking in excess of 2 million.
That number.
And then, how will controllers say that there are 760,000 persons on government's payroll when government has created 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector?
Yes.
Which payroll are these people on?
So here the difficulty.
That's why I said I want clarification.
Exactly. The difficulty is you can even see that from the controller figures and the SNIT figures, there is some discrepancy.
No, there isn't.
No.
I would want to believe that the difference between the controller's figures and SNIT's figures will be private sector.
That is your belief.
Yes.
I don't have that information, so I'm unable to tell. But what I can produce to you is that we have given a list of where these 1.4 million jobs are, and that data is out, which has not been contested in any way as of now. And then we can subject that to the interrogation of the information given by SNIT and then the controller to see where.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly. But I'm unable to delve deeper into these rudiments to get to exactly what.
That's fine. Okay. So, Honorable Adongo, let me bring you in. Dr. Bawumia has told us about their performance and why they think that they deserve another. He will tell us later on what exactly the promises they are making. But at least he's told us that on the scorecard, he believes that they've made 80%. They've performed better than any other, than the alternative. Okay.
I just have some information if I can volunteer,
please,
if it is important.
Yes.
I'm told that not all public sector employees are on Controller and Accountant General's payroll. And then two, SNIT does not have data on all the security agencies because they don't contribute to SNIT.
Okay.
And then also, most of the private companies in Ghana declare their workers to avoid. That is
I don't even want to go into the private.
Exactly.
But
so these are the public sector. These two information are provided, and it's something that we can all look at.
Okay.
That one, not all public sector employees are on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll.
Okay.
So it is likely the Controller and Accountant General will have a lower figure.
Okay.
And then two, SNIT does not have data on all the security agencies because they don't contribute to SNIT.
Yeah, but
these are
but we have the data. You provided the data on the jobs created in the security services.
Exactly.
Yes, and that does not exceed 100,000 in the security services.
Yes.
So,
but this is information to more or less.
I don't doubt that. I'm saying that I've analyzed all those.
Exactly.
Yes, and I'm saying that even if you took the jobs, that breakdown, you took the jobs created out of the security services out of it, there's still a gap. Of about 600,000. And I'm finding out where, not even 600,000, there's a gap of about 1.2 million.
Which would be strange anyway.
Yes,
exactly.
So I'm trying to find out where those people are.
Exactly, so we can find out.
Yes, Honorable.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes when I listen to this government and this spokesperson, I find it difficult to understand whether they are in this country or they are speaking about another country.
Why?
Because they've messed up this country. Everybody is aware of that. People are struggling. Data from reputable, independent bodies speak differently from the data that government cooks in their offices. I would prefer to rely on data from reputable institutions that are independent of government, because I don't trust government data. And I heard him keep saying that we believe. No. There must be verifiable and credible data. The World Bank reports that the unemployment in our country has moved from 14.6%. I mean, from 8.6% to 14.7%. And you have a government saying that it has created more jobs. How does that happen?
But that's possible.
Yes, but which data are we using?
No, I'm saying that in nominal terms,
yes,
it is possible to have created more jobs. Yet, those jobs will not be sufficient in terms of rising population and people who are of working age.
Randy, look at the difference. You see, I have heard the argument that when you started quizzing about the government payroll and the numbers they claim to have created, you are looking in excess of 2 million. And the audit service is saying that it is 716,000. And he said that not all of them are on government payroll. Those that are not on government payroll, you can count them on your fingertips. Ghana Standard Authority, how many people are there? Exim Bank, how many people are there? Free Zones Board, how many people are there? Those agencies that are using internally generated, even those entities I've mentioned, okay, the staff, the establishment numbers require that they should be put on payroll. Our laws, our public financial management laws are very clear. You cannot use public funds to pay for compensation unless you have clearance from the government through the Ministry of Finance. So all those people that he's talking about, government is aware of them. And the controller and auditor general is aware of them. So how come the auditor general goes to verify 770 million people, and 770,000 people, and you somehow have over 2 million? Where are they sitting? Ghost workers. Clearly, you can tell that if you ask the government, they will tell you they've created 4 million. They can tell you it's 5 million. In fact, and they could have even mentioned 10 million. Because those data are not credible.
So at least I've just found out that the total membership of SNIT is 1.8 million. And this is data given by the Honorable Ignatius Bafwe, Minister for Employment.
So 1.8 million, right?
Total.
Yeah, total, including private sector.
Active is 1.2.
Including private sector.
Yes, total is 1.8.
And private sector employs more
than
government.
So the point is that if government has added 1.4 million new jobs in the public sector, and you expect government to register every employee on the SNIT scheme.
Yes.
So it means that government should have added 1.4 million people onto the SNIT scheme in the last 7 years.
Yes. In addition to the over 660,000 they came to meet.
Yes.
That will push it to over 2 million. But that is not, SNIT is not only dealing with public sector workers. It is dealing with, in fact, the bigger employer.
In fact, per the controller's figures, it means that we are talking about 100 or 110,000 added.
Yes. That's what it is.
From 660 to 7...
Almost 760.
760, yeah.
Okay. And now...
So, Doc, I come to you, but there are 2 text messages from 2 members of parliament. I'll read them, and then you can respond to them as well. So the first one is from the member of parliament for the Yape Kusogu constituency, the Honorable John Jacob. Okay. It says that, so he sent an earlier one. It says a critical question for my friend Gideon Boaku on the employment is which government agency verified these employment figures? Why does the Auditor General, Ministry of Finance, NEET, and other credible international agencies have very low figures? Can Gideon confirm which government agency verified these numbers?
So I'll respond to that, and I'm very happy that my colleagues in the NDC are listening and providing support to my brother Adongo here. We were talking about jobs.
Yes.
I like the fact that you drew his attention to. You tried to say that unemployment figures are going up, and so we cannot say we have created more jobs, and that cannot be the case. We must understand that unemployment is a function of the labor force, and labor force is also a subset of the total population. So you may have created more jobs, but insofar as population increases, you still have people who are unemployed. But the fact still remains that irrespective of the fact that there are still people who are unemployed, this government has created 2.3 million jobs, and that is the highest that any government has created since 1992.
And
John asked a very important question. So I have some data here and I can share with you. And this is data that we have put out that is in the public domain. If you look at SNIT data, this is data provided by SNIT. Private sector formal employment. 2017, let me highlight this. 2017 was 171,079. 2018, 188,385. 2019, 180,258. 2020, 123,962.
Give me the 2020 figure.
2017, 18, 19, 20. 2020, 123,962.
123.
Yes, 123,962. 2021, 158,214. 2022, 153,266. And that sums up to 975,164, and this is from SNIT. This is private. They call it private formal sector from SNIT, and that is what you add to what government has aggregated as public sector employment. That comes to.
Is this private sector or government sector?
What I gave you is private formal. That is how SNIT.
So private sector.
Exactly, private.
Yes, private
and
sector.
then you add up to what is in the public sector. That is where you come to the total figure that we are coming. And there's a breakdown of the one in the public sector. It's a whole Excel sheet. Okay, that captures the breakdown of what is also in the public sector. So that has to do with the jobs data, and we can.
Yeah, but if we add all this private sector ones, if we add that, it's getting close to 1 million.
Yes, that is 975.
So 975.
Yes, 975,000.
So if you take the total membership of SNIT, as at end of year 2023 was 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So this figure is up to 22, not so.
Yeah, this is up to 2022. Yes.
So if you have about 1 million,
yes,
what it means is that then you are left with 1.8. You have left with 800,000.
Exactly.
800,000.
Yeah.
If you take the 760. In the public service, then there's about some 40,000 left.
Yeah. So what I'm saying.
So where will you account for the 1.4 million public sector jobs added?
That is a question that we can get SNIT to establish for us, because this
not SNIT. You don't have to. It's not SNIT. It's government that must.
No, that's what I'm saying. That this is data from SNIT.
Yes.
I'm quoting exactly this data from SNIT.
So the SNIT data. So Doc, the SNIT data creates doubts in the government data provider. So if we even take away the private sector out, and we are even dealing with public sector, let's even say that the private sector people have not registered for SNIT, and you deal with just the public sector, and it's good you give us these figures.
Exactly.
Which means that as of 2022, SNIT has 975,000 registered private persons.
Exactly.
Which means that you are left with about 1 million.
Yeah.
That 1 million even includes private sector people already registered prior to 2017.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you take them out,
yeah,
you are even looking at a figure which probably is about 500,000-600,000.
So it's important.
So where is the 1.4 million created from 2017? Government must tell us.
Yeah. So
where those people are. Or you didn't register them with SNIT.
Brevity of time will not allow us to go through this assertion, but this is the data.
Okay.
And so I mean these figures are all coming from SNIT, so we need to cross check.
Right.
So that is with the employment.